So I was driving into work today and my headlights just started turning off for like, up to a minute, and then they would come back on for a minute, and I hit a bump and they'd shut back off and they turn back on. Now I checked my turn signals, all that was good. I started like tapping on that switch just to see if that was doing anything. It wasn't doing anything. So what I'm going to try to do right now is check these relays, and it says for this compartment, the low beam relay is R6 and the high beam is R5. So here we got R6 and R5. So I'm just going to swap these. Just grab them and pull them. Need a little extra, just don't want to break it. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so I'm just going to swap those. You want to make sure that they are for sure exactly the same. Alright, and then if that solves it, then I know it was that relay. So I made it home and everything was fine, but when I got back on the road to come back to work, they cut off again. So the next thing is I'm going to check the fuses. So according to this, the low beams are 16 and 17. So that's left hand side and right hand side. And those are third from the right on the top row. So that is these two, and these are both 10 amp. Now, sometimes, like, you can pull these out and look at them and they look fine, but they're still bad. It's weird that they would both go out at the same time. I don't think this is a problem, but I'm gonna replace these anyway. Yeah, that thing looks fine. Like I said, we'll just try it. Alright, 10 amp. And another 10 amp. So the fuses didn't solve it, so that leaves the dimmer switch, the headlight switch, and the bulbs, and then the wiring itself. Okay, so I've got a new dimmer switch, and inside here, this is where the pins are. What I found is that for the dimmer, it is this pin that either attaches here or here. And then for the turn signal, it is the second pin on the top, either attaches to the right or to the left. So if I connect the middle pin to the left, I get nothing, but if I connect it to the right, I've got contact. And if I flick the lights to the low beams, I'm not sure if that's the high or the low, but then it switches to the other side. Right, so the middle pin on the bottom row connects to the left or the right, depending on if it's high beams or low beams. And then for the turn signal, so these two pins don't connect to anything, but if I turn it, I believe that would be right-hand turn. Got nothing there. I got contact there. If I do the left-hand turn, I got contact between the left two pins. So if you want to pull yours out and troubleshoot it, that would be, think that's how you would do it. So I'm going to pull mine out and see if I got a problem with those bottom pins. So the good news is taking this out is pretty easy. All we have to do is undo 3 clips. There's one here, one on the other side, and then the electronic clip. You could do this all with a flathead screwdriver, but if you're at all worried about scratching up your paneling, which I probably shouldn't worry about at this point, then this might be a good time to invest in a plastic tool. So I'm just going to press in on that clip. And it turns out I'm going to be using a screwdriver anyway, just because I got to get a little bit deeper than I can get with that little tool. There we go. So it looks like it already released from the right side anyway. But you can see these little plastic clips. All we're doing is we're pushing that in so it can release. And we can grab this thing, pull it out. You can see we got this little flexible cover here, so this just kind of punches in with these clips. And then right here, there's another clip. So I guess there's 4 clips. We're just going to press in. There's a little button right here, so I'm just going to press that in. And that'll kind of lift it. And then I can grab this guy and pull it up. That presents the wiring. So I'm just going to grab that, squeeze, and this should come out. There we go. And it's a good idea just to take a look at the wiring to make sure that nothing on here is removed or anything like that, and everything does look decent. So I'll plug the new one in, drop that on, okay, and let's just see Feels good. See if that works. Okay, we got our headlights back. Awesome. Now all I got to do is drive with this thing for a few days and make sure that it stays that way. So I'm just going to drop the steering wheel to make this a little easier. And the buttons where those fit in are right at the top. Kind of get it where it needs to go, and they just press in. Okay. Okay, and we are set. So, got nothing there. Okay, so that does mean that pin 3 and 4 on the bottom are the low beams, and pin 2 and 3 are the high beams. And this was the problem. So what that means for you is, if you want to test this thing out, you can just pull it out of your car. You already saw how easy it was, and then just test pins 3 and 4. And then you'll know if this is a problem, so you'll know whether or not you need to go out and actually buy that part. Okay, so it's been a couple of days, and I still got my high beams and my lows. Everything seems to be working, so I think we're good.